Good afternoon, this is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding, here to do a quick 2025 update about the due date for filing FBAR, what is the deadline, what you do to avoid missing the deadline, and what happens if you fail to file the form in prior years before filing in the current year. So first things first, the FBAR is FinCEN Form 114. It is not an IRS form technically, so it's not technically part of your tax return, but the IRS is tasked with enforcement. It is used to report foreign bank and financial accounts to the U.S. government, not just bank accounts. Common misconception, understandable because of the name, but it includes things like investment accounts, securities accounts, mutual fund and ETF accounts, life insurance policies, certain pension plans. So there are a lot of different types of accounts that may be reportable. It's for U.S. persons. So from an individual standpoint, that's typically going to be a U.S. citizen, a lawful permanent resident, a foreign national who meets the substantial presence test. It could be domestic entities as well, trusts and corporations and partnerships, depending if they have foreign accounts. There was recently a case that came down that said if you qualify for a treaty election, the case was ROS, that if you qualify under the treaty election as that particular defendant did, the court said that he should not have had to file FBARs. The IRS takes the position that you do have to file FBARs even if you live overseas and qualify for a treaty election, but there is a case out there that says different. So key facts about the due date, okay? So technically the FBAR is due April 15th. But for several years now, the FBAR has been on something called automatic extension. That means taxpayers automatically have until October to file the form. They don't need to file like a 4868. They don't need to file a 7004. It's on automatic extension. But before filing in the current year, a question taxpayers should ask themselves is have they filed in the prior years? So if someone had been filing for multiple years, maybe they missed an FBAR, that's not necessarily going to be fatal. I mean, you should definitely talk to an attorney before submitting in the current year, but don't let anyone fearmonger you. That's not really a big deal. If maybe you haven't filed for several years and now you've learned about it this year and you're getting ready to file this year, well, before filing this year, you want to make sure you get into compliance for prior years. Why? Because you don't want to end up doing something called a quiet disclosure. We talk about quiet disclosure a lot because the IRS has made it known if they catch people doing it that they're going to lay the hammer down, keeping in mind there are probably plenty of people who do it and they don't get caught. The ones who do get caught, it's a big problem, but I'm sure there are people who've done it and I'm sure they haven't gotten caught. So the key issue is whether someone is willful or non-willful. If they're willful, then they're going to probably have to go through the voluntary disclosure program if they're going to do that, if they're going to come and comply. If they're non-willful, there's lots of different programs available to them. But the most important thing to keep in mind is if you are willful, you don't want to submit to a non-willful program, because if the IRS catches you, then they're really going to go after you for fines and penalties. They may even launch a criminal investigation. It's pretty rare, but if you get caught doing it, it could happen. We have a ton of free information available on our main website and our sub-websites. You can always reach out and schedule a reduced fee initial consultation if it's appropriate to your matter, and it's something that we handle here. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.